The Singapore track, very technical track, tight, physically demanding, is another street track characterized by slow speed corners and limited overtaking opportunities. Drivers need to manage their tires carefully due to high downforce levels and a long race duration. Teams will also have to adapt their cars to maximize mechanical grip while running high downforce setups, similar to Monaco and Hungaroring, basically.
Yeah, and there's a lot of corners too. I think there's at least up to 20 or so, maybe 20 to 23. I think it's 20, more than 20 corners. So this is going to put a lot of and there's a lot of this is going to be a slow speed track. So downforce is going to have to come into play. I think that helps Ferrari, which right now has more downforce. And even though McLaren has slightly better balance, well, a little bit more balance than Ferrari. Ferrari is also now bringing in the rear wing, which acts like a DRS and reduces drag. So you're going to see Ferrari even do better. So that to me, who wins this race is a toss up between Leclerc, Norris, and Piastri.
Singapore circuit is a notoriously difficult, complicated circuit. Street circuits, it's a street circuit, it always is. It's going to be under the lights, I think, so they're going to be driving in the dark. And I've noticed it's rarely ever, it's not really a fastest car wins the race kind of track.
No.
And although there's lots of turns, it's difficult to overtake. And I've seen Alonso win Grand Prix. He had no business winning on this track simply by coming in on a yellow flag at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So whilst the usual suspects are going to be up there, McLaren will be up there, Ferrari will be up there, and Mercedes will be there or thereabouts. Maybe Verstappen will try to upset things. Despite that general thing, this is the kind of track that's an opportunity for the slightly slower cars, the Strolls, the Alonsos, and what the like. Those cars are finished between 8th and 12th. It's going to be their chance, if they can get lucky, to win one of those races that you rarely see underdogs win. It's a good underdog.
Maybe even
track.
Williams.
Yeah, it's a good underdog track, although it's difficult to overtake. And there's always a chance of what you could call it on this road, yellow flags.
Yellow flags.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be crazy Singapore this year with the cars being so tight in terms of like quali pace. The margins are so close and so tight. And like you say, the track is notorious for crashes. There's the famous sling, Singapore sling, I think at turn 10, that has thrown people off. I know they fixed the chicane now to make it a little bit smoother, but it doesn't get more closer than Singapore. And I'm just like been reflecting on last year's race, saw how well Sainz did. I'm counting him in as one of the top performers.
Possibly. Yeah, and he does well on him and Perez both do well on slow speed track, not because they're slow drivers, but because they use more pinpoint turning and they use classical turning. They don't oversteer and things like that.
Well. Yeah. But I think Piastri also is
Piastri can do either. Yeah.
Is looking calm enough to manage the race. Of course, as already been stated, it's a difficult race on the body. I think this is when drivers lose the most amount of weight in a single race.
Because of
I think also the other thing that I checked is that currently there's like it's monsoon season in Singapore. So the weather might sort of pull a fast one on the race weekend in terms of practice sessions, quali, or even the race day itself. Should the rain come down?
Yeah,
but I imagine
somewhere behind Hamilton and Russell will also be lurking for any yellow flags or things like that. Those guys.
Alonso and Hamilton are going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah,
for sure. I remember very well what they did last year before Russell crashed out when they were chasing
and Russell could have won the race or come second at least. Yeah.
Exactly. When they were chasing behind Sainz, and who was second? I think it was Norris.
Yeah.
And
I
they
think
were very
Sainz won, right?
close
Yeah.
to overtaking them, and I think that that crash is basically what ended the race.
And you may have something like that again, because if Leclerc is up there, he's going to be racing, and I even believe the Norris and those guys race each other, because I don't think McLaren is ever going to tell those guys to actually do team orders. They just pretend to people on TV. So what I'm saying is there's a chance you'll see some racing at night. People are tired, and it's the last part of the race, and everybody's converging now. So there's going to be a crowd, just like there was in the last race. There's going to be a crowd, as in Azerbaijan, with people coming. I mean, even Perez might have even come second, or even Sainz might have passed Leclerc because the tires were going down. And so we're going to see the same scenario. What do you think, Lorato? Then we'll go to a full lobby.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think crashes are unavoidable in Singapore. I can't remember the number of races
that means strategy is going to be important.
Yeah, on the track, and of course, strategy is important, as we noted smartly with Mercedes last year, almost winning the race.
Yeah.
After a very smart stop. So tire management is gonna be
yeah
something great.
You mean everybody needs to have a rear
and
flexible
course,
wing?
Yeah, and